It's kind of hard for individuals like Roland Martin to answer simple questions about crime in the black community because they want to blame it on racism and slavery and all that stuff because that's how they get paid. Because some people might call individuals like Roland Martin a race hustler or a grifter or ambulance chaser, me being one of those people. But when he sat down on a podcast and was asked why is there so much crime in Democratic run cities, it was kind of hard for him to answer.
27 out of top 30 cities in American crime ran by Democrats. Why?
First, I will tell you.
Tell us.
First of all, it's where African Americans are living. So let's bring up Chicago in particular. What you have had in Chicago is you have had some of the greatest racial segregation, not in 20 years, not in 30 years, but literally in 100 plus years.
Led by Democrats.
No, hold on. Here's the deal, though. Okay, I will show you how Mississippi has the largest percentage of black people in America, run by Republicans, broke as hell. Explain that. Explain me the highest. Tell me when you have. No, hold on. Wait.
Don't spin.
No, I'm not spinning.
No, don't.
No. What I'm
Let's
showing
stay
you.
on topic.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
Let's stay on topic.
We're
the
on
topic
topic.
is crime 27 out of 30, not economic. Economic is a different story.
No, it's not.
But I agree with you that we need to get the financial situation.
No. And you're making the
you
mistake.
You went to Mississippi. No, you're making the mistake.
No. Here's the mistake you're making.
27 out of 30.
Here's the mistake you're making. When you say crime, I just obliterated a black conservative in my show on this whole issue. When you say crime, you have to then say, okay, what creates crime? No, what creates crime? What creates crime?
When people are not doing well financially.
What else?
Your surrounding environment, who you're around.
No, what else?
Pick up habits.
What else?
Bad policies.
No. What else? See, you're jumping to policies.
But it is bad policies. Wait a minute. If I lead a company, Roland,
the underpinning. Hold on, wait.
If I run a company and I'm the CEO of the company, if the company improves or doesn't improve is based on my policies. I'm the head running the company, the department. If it doesn't improve, it's because of me. What else would it be?
So let me lay it out to you again.
Go for it.
When you talk about what is the underpinning of crime, John Hope Bryant, founder of Operation Hope, this is what he said. He said, show me a community where you've seen a riot with a credit score of 700 or higher. The reality is when you talk about crime in this country, you're talking about economics, you're talking about education, you're talking about housing, you're talking about health. Mm-hmm. Show me areas where you do not have high crime. I'm going to show you areas that don't have the same, aren't as compacted. That's first. What you have is, when you talk about crime in places, you then look at what are the numbers of people there, what are the pockets there, what are those communities, and how did those communities, how were they created literally not over 20, 30 years, but literally over 50, 75, 100 years?
I agree with this host somewhat when it comes down to what he was saying about policies and voting these things in Democratic cities. But there's another thing that Democratic cities have a lot more of, especially in the urban areas, the large cities, and that's fatherless homes, which is the number one reason why crime happens, because so many kids grow up without fathers in the home. Roland Martin might want to disagree with that, but he explains why his upbringing was a little different.
Was somebody who, as a kid, traveled with my mom to rallies and events with the Metropolitan Organization and the state capitol. I understand.
Did you grow up rich?
Who?
Did you grow up rich?
No, my parents didn't go to college.
How are you rich then?
What do you mean how?
How are you rich?
Here's how.
How are you rich?
No, here's how.
Yeah.
Because first and foremost, the neighborhood that I grew up in it was one of the first master plan communities by a HUD. What you had in my neighborhood was you had folks, first of all, I had mom and dad, one, who also
married
who
together.
Also, hell yeah, they're still married, 56 years, who absolutely believed in education. Now, what I recognize is, so for me, in my household, what my parents emphasized, never went to college. Then my brother went to Texas A&M. I went to Texas A&M. My sister went to Texas A&M. And so that was our house. What I recognize is that somebody who is next door or across the street or around the corner did not have the situation that I had.
So he grew up in a neighborhood that was sponsored by HUD, and yet his brother, his sister, and himself was able to achieve success. And the major thing was he had a 2-parent household. The father was there. Now, his surroundings didn't get that same privilege, which is now a privilege to have a father, and they kind of messed up, but he didn't see how that played a major factor. I just don't get why we as a people can't just say we need fathers in the home. Kick out the government, bring the fathers back. And also, why can't we try to change our own neighborhoods? Because that was another thing they were talking about in the podcast. I'm going to leave the podcast for you in the description, but they were talking about the neighborhoods that black people grow up in or live in are pretty ran down and all those things. But yet, when he got his money, he left instead of trying to build up his neighborhood.
That's macro. Even within the African American community, when you dealt with Jim Crow, you couldn't live anywhere else. You literally could not live anywhere else. Bottom line is, if you were black and had money, and then you were black and broke, you were literally living in the same neighborhood. After Jim Crow ends with integration, what then happened? Those African Americans who were middle class, upper middle class, began to move away. What then began to happen was you had areas where poverty increased even more so.
Why move away, though? Why move away?
Because
if you care about the community, why not stay there and change it?
well, first of all, does anybody else move?
What do you mean?
Who the hell else don't move? How do you think suburbs were created?
But wait a minute.
What do you mean? How do you think white flight was created? So everybody else get to move, but we can't move?
But if you act like you care about the community
No,
as much
guess
as
what?
you do, stay
but
there.
But I'll answer your question. Do you know why? Because when African Americans were living in black neighborhoods,
Yeah.
they also had economically depressed housing values, and the reality is they were not able to
Change it. Help change it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am. I am.
Okay,
I'll give you an idea.
Here's the deal.
Are you familiar with Palmdale?
I'm gonna need you to be drug tested.
Now they continue on with the conversation, and the host calls him out for playing victim or acting like a victim, which Roland Martin says that he's not acting like a victim, but he kind of is. Then they start talking about the housings that people have in these neighborhoods, how these neighborhoods are ran down and all these things. But the reason why these neighborhoods are ran down is because of crime. And no one wants to stay in a crime-ridden neighborhood. Roland Martin even admits this himself. Well, he kind of admitted it. Either way, you don't want to stay in a neighborhood that has a high crime rate. You want to get your family out so they can be safe and actually focus on the things that matter, like education, keeping the house clean, keeping your faith. But people can't see that for some reason. It's not the government fault that Compton turned into Compton. Compton turned into Compton because of the fatherless households and the uptick in crime. I mean, come on, Kevin Costner is from Compton. But that's all I have for you today. Y'all let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think? Do you think Roland Martin is right? And the only reason why we have high crime rate is because of the institutional racism and because of slavery and Jim Crow and because we live in messed up houses, even though they probably weren't messed up, and you can actually clean up your house if you want to and, bring the property value up? Or do you think, no, we need to get back to the basics for having the family unit strong first and then branch out and work on the community? I'm your host, TJ Evans, with another installment of the TJ Evans Show. Y'all remember to do your own research. Don't take my word for gold. Do the YouTube and Rumble thing. Subscribe to the Royal Family Studios page. Also, check out my book on Amazon, The Diary of Marvin DeWayne. Y'all stay safe, stay prayed up. Peace.